Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about the loneliness of going it alone. Okay, so it is a gloomy, gray, rainy day here in England. You know, I think I said last week in a video that we actually have a lot of nice days in England, despite what you hear. But today is like an exception. Today's about normal, right? It's just sort of rainy. I think we might have thunderstorms today. It's just blah, and it can affect your mood big time. Like there's times where I'm just like, today was like, oh, okay, let's get it done. You try to be positive. You try to like push past the environment around you. Like, okay, gonna get this stuff done. But sometimes, you just get into a bit of a mood. So in keeping with being in a bad mood and being dark and miserable, let's talk about a miserable topic. Let's talk about loneliness of the software developer trying to go it alone. Right? We read a lot. If you're like me, you read a lot of books about business biographies or just books about business. They talk about, do this and do this, or the right mindset to be in and all this kind of stuff. But they don't talk a lot about the loneliness of it all. Like, where you're constantly like, I've said this before in the videos, but there's times when you are the only person who believes in what you're doing, and that could be one of the loneliest positions to be in, where your partner is not behind you, or your spouse is not behind you, or whatever, your friends are not behind you, and you're like, I'm trying to do this new thing, and they're like, oh, I don't know if that'll work, or why don't you just get a job, or why don't you just do this, why don't you just do that, and they can't understand why you're doing what you're doing. And there are times where you're like resolute, and you're like, trust me, I got this, I'm trying to do something different, whatever. And there's times where it just starts to get to you, where you're just like, oh, right. Over the course of my career, especially over the last 10 years, when I started doing Overpass full time, there's been times where I've just been like, dude, I just want to quit. Like, because we talk, like, if you read anything about entrepreneurship, you know that there's hard work involved, right? You're gonna have to work those long hours and put the work in. But it makes it sound like it's like elbow grease, like, all you have to do is just work harder than everybody else and all that stuff. But it's not just that. The hard work is the decisions you have to make. Like, constantly be thinking, am I working on what I should be working on right now? Is there something that's more higher value? Is that the right client to go with? Should I be doing client work at all? Right? Should I go back to the applications that I was working on? Should I do this? Should I do that? Right? And you get advice from everyone around you, right? And and it can really get you. Or should I hire more people? Or do I have too many people? Or how do I keep the people busy? Or like during these slow times, or whatever, this kind of stuff, right? And it could be really, really, really depressing. Or here's one that I've had experienced quite a few times, where you're working on a client project and for a big company, and you get called into their office because whatever, they've been moving the goalposts forever and ever and ever, but they're your big client, so you think, I'll let them get away with it a little bit. And then you go and have a meeting with some and you're way over budget. Like, you quoted something and you're like, dude, we just got to get this finished. And they want to have another meeting. And then you go in and have this meeting with a middle manager who treats you like dirt because you're just a small company and he's part of this big conglomerate. And really you're thinking, dude, you did what you were supposed to do, and you climbed the ladder, and everyone told you do this, then do this, then do this. And you did that really, really well because you had a map. And I don't have a map. Right? I'm trying to figure this out as I go, and I have so much more stress than that guy does, right? Despite what he might tell you, right? Because a lot of the times, and this is one of those things, I hope, a lot of times I might make this look easy, like, oh, you just put out an app and then it does really well and all this kind of stuff. But sometimes you put in an app and there's like, you put out an app and then nobody downloads it, or you put out a product and you can't find the clients for it, or you're going out there trying to find new clients and you're like, dude, this is like getting more and more difficult, right? The reason I want to talk about this is not to be depressing and not to discourage anybody. I just want to let you guys know that this is a normal thing, right? I told you about this business mastermind group I joined a while back, and I'm not with them anymore, but like, a lot of the stuff was really positive, like, have you read this book, or I'm going to go out and crush it, and all this kind of stuff, the normal blah, blah, blah. But the things that really got me were when somebody started saying, like, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing, or I'm not sure if this is, the right course of action, or, I'm not sure if, is this person disrespecting me, or should I be pushing back, or should I be giving more, whatever. And it was those moments, like, where somebody really breaks, when they they show you the vulnerabilities that you can actually relate to. And the thing that makes me relate to it is that I know that, dude, I'm not alone, right? We all have those dark moments. We have those moments where we want to quit. We have those moments where you think, dude, you pull over to the side of the road, you're like, oh my God, everything is closing in around me. I mean, but you have the highs as well. You have the highs where you're like, yes, this is working. This is going like there's more highs than lows, hopefully. But I just want to let you guys know that this kind of stuff normally happens. If you've ever run a marathon or done, half marathon, or a race of any kind, you know that it comes to a point where everything is mental, where your body is telling you that, you really should stop, right? It would be okay if you stop. No one would blame you if you stopped. And everything becomes your mind pushing you forward. Say, no, I said I was going to do this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to do it, right? And, sometimes the body wins and sometimes the mind wins. But, that's one of those things where I think, you could always quit. You could always get a job. You could always go back. But then, you just got to weather those emotional storms. I hope this makes sense. I was not too dark to talk about today. But I think it's one of those things that I think about a lot, right? And when I make this look easy, or if I make this look easy, because a lot of the emails I get from people saying, I want a successful app like yours. I'm like, good, do that, right? But I don't have a map for you to follow. I wish I could tell you exactly what to do. I could put you in the right direction, right? But when life hits back, and or when the people around you are not on your side, that's down to you. Anyway, I hope this was useful. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope the weather where you are is better than it is here today. That's it for today. I'll talk to you guys again.